Let's talk about a corporate paradox that most people overlook. Look around your office. Who's always buried in work? The one getting the midnight calls, the impossible projects, the only you can fix this emergencies. They're the rock star, the expert everyone depends on. But here's the twist. What if this person is actually hurting their career? Keep watching, because understanding why might change everything you thought you knew about success. Now track their career path. I'll wait. Chances are you'll notice something strange. Their promotion speed doesn't quite match their hustle. They're often passed over by people who seem less burdened, less technically brilliant, maybe just more available. This isn't bad luck. It's not a personal failure. It's system design. And today we're going to crack the code on why being the most valuable player in your current position can be the single biggest obstacle to moving out of it. Welcome to the optimal component dilemma. First, let's diagnose if you're already trapped. You might be if you recognize these signs. 1, you hear "we can't function without you" all the time. But notice, this phrase is never followed by "so let's talk about your next big move." Your value is being weaponized against you. It's a cage they've built, and the door is locked. But here's the key question. Is there a way out, or is this your career's final destination? Don't leave yet, because the next part will tell you how to change the game. 2. Your responsibilities explode, but your authority doesn't budge. You're solving bigger problems, managing more chaos, but you still need to beg for budget or approvals. You're using your personal credibility to grease the wheels of a rigid machine, and the system loves that free lubrication. 3. The mere thought of you leaving sends management into a panic. But watch what that panic produces. It's not a promotion offer. It's a better chair, a fancy title, a bonus. They're not planning your next act. They're just soundproofing your current cell. 4. You're rewarded for depth, but ignored for breadth. Dig the deepest hole and you get a medal. Point out that we're digging in the wrong place and you get a polite smile and a reminder to focus on your digging. Feel that tension? That's not your boss being dumb. That's you, as a high output unit, being successfully anchored by the system's own logic. So what is that logic? Why would a rational entity block its best people from advancing? It comes down to 3 cold, calculated system parameters. Parameter 1, the tyranny of local optimization. To a system, moving a perfectly functioning part is insane risk. Imagine a tech giant with a genius engineer who keeps their core platform worth billions running smoothly. Promoting that engineer to management is a gamble. They might be a terrible manager, but removing them from their current role, that's a guaranteed immediate catastrophic loss. So the system's rational choice is to freeze them in place. Give them a fellow title, a huge salary, and make them a monument. Your excellence is your own trap. You become too valuable to move. Parameter 2, the security calculus of power. A star performer already has informal power, expertise, respect, networks. Promoting them gives that power a formal structure. It creates a new power center. That makes the existing power structure nervous. So often, the safe choice gets promoted. The known entity, the person who won't rock the boat. The war hero gets a bigger medal and is sent back to their garrison, while the politically savvy staff officer gets the general's star. Your high merit can look to the system like a future threat. Parameter 3, cognitive laziness and the sticky label. Systems are lazy thinkers. Once you're the fixer, the wizard, the workhorse, that's your permanent file. When a leadership role opens up requiring vision and ambiguity tolerance, the system doesn't search its database for fixers who might have vision. It searches for leaders. You're in the wrong category. You've been archived. In an investment bank, the analyst who's a modeling machine will watch the managing director job go to the less technical colleague who's better at telling stories and working the room. The system only knows how to ask you for one thing. Now, here's the cruel twist. When you sense this lock-in and try to break free, your best efforts often backfire spectacularly. You take on even more work to prove your capacity. The system reads, component tolerance exceeds specs, can handle increased load on current setting. You just got yourself more of the same work. You loudly ask for a promotion or a new challenge. The system reads, critical node showing instability, initiate ANFU protocols. You'll get a raise, not a new role. They're trying to stabilize the asset, not promote it. You start acting like a leader, networking, strategizing. The system reads, component deviating from primary function. Recalibrate. You'll get told to focus on your core responsibilities. They'll try to wrench you back onto the track they built for you. So, what's the end game for the locked-in star? The system isn't heartless, it has plans. But those plans, they're not the promotions you're hoping for. What if the system's solution for you isn't what you expect, but something far more controlling? Don't turn away now, because if you miss what's coming next, you'll miss the key to unlocking your career path. Path 1, expert canonization. You get the ultimate technical title, Chief Scientist, Distinguished Engineer. Huge salary, complete autonomy, but no managerial power. You become a living monument, revered but stagnant. Is this success? Or is it the system's way of locking you in forever? Stick with me, because what you do next could redefine what it means to succeed in this system. Path 2, the Shadow Advisor. You lose all direct reports but gain invisible power. Every major decision needs your nod. You're the behind-the-throne power without a throne. Your influence is real but contained because it has no official territory. Path 3, the permanent firefighter. You move from one crisis to the next, saving the failing project, launching the impossible product. You're a strategic weapon, deployed only for emergencies, never put in charge of peacetime. The classical insight here is brutal. Systems don't want leaders. They want perfect, predictable parts. A perfect part is defined by its fit in one specific socket. Moving it risks breaking the socket and ruining the part. So the system celebrates the part's perfection right where it is. In modern terms, under quarterly earnings pressure, your proven current output is a sure thing. Promoting you is a risky investment in an unknown future. They will always choose to cash in your sure thing today. So, what do you do with this knowledge? First, stop hearing you're indispensable as a compliment. Start hearing it as a diagnosis. Second, you must consciously, deliberately sabotage your own perfect label. Do things that are off-brand. Lead a cross-functional team. Write a white paper on strategy. Create data points that force the system to recategorize you. And third, understand that arguing for promotion based on your past contributions can trigger security alarms. Frame your ascent as something that strengthens the system, diversifies risk, builds succession. We're not just giving you a checklist for promotion, we're giving you a whole new operating system. Stop asking, why don't they see my value? Start asking, what value data am I feeding the system right now? And more importantly, what new data should I feed it to change how the system sees me? The next step is critical, and if you miss it, you'll be stuck in the system forever. Shift your identity from the company's best component to a potential architect. Stop just running your code flawlessly and start asking if you can help rewrite part of the program. But this leaves us with the obvious, chilling question. If being the best at your job isn't the key, then what is? If the system is so afraid of brilliant, unpredictable parts, what does it actually love? It loves safety, predictability, low maintenance, the antithesis of the volatile star. And that is the topic for our next conversation.